Hello, everyone. Susan Kerbick from Psychics Explained. I have a whole lot of stuff to show you guys, but we're going to just talk about this one guy, Los Angeles medium. Um, Friend of ours, Rob Palmer, stumbled across this man and said, "It's Thomas John." I said, "It's not Thomas John." He goes, "Well, he's trying to pretend he's Thomas John." I said, "I don't think he's trying to pretend he's Thomas John, but what is this?" And he says, "Well, he's calling himself the Los Angeles medium. Isn't that where Thomas John is? And isn't that what Thomas John calls himself?" I said, "Well, I remember Thomas John calling himself the Manhattan medium, and he is located in Los Angeles, but whatever." So you've never seen this guy. I've never seen this guy, and you're I want to use a lot of offensive words. Um, I probably should not use offensive words in this case, but I have many that start with F and S that I would love to add in. So you guys just add them in your brain that this guy, who in the, you know, okay. So he's remote viewing on Nancy Guthrie. And this is what we're finding out. So I put together a team. Thank you. We had somebody from our channel who volunteered. He said, I'll help out. And I said, "Well, you got to friend me on Facebook." And because we do the correspondence over Messenger, he sure as heck did. And he has been instrumental. He's been really helpful looking into documenting what the psychic mediums, we're really only looking at American psychic mediums that have said about Nancy Guthrie or not said. And so I'm working with the Center for Inquiry's investigation group, Jim Underdown, and Ben Radford from Squaring the Strange, and also a paranormal researcher who just has been following psychic detectives and so on for years. And we've been putting together this report that hopefully will get out to the media and so on about what these psychics are saying about Nancy Guthrie or not saying. And you'll be surprised. The fans have been yelling for their favorite mediums to investigate Nancy Guthrie. And a lot of the mediums are just ignoring that. It's been fascinating because people are you can kind of tell in the comments, they look like they're starting to kind of go, "But why won't you help? I don't understand. Why, if you know, why won't you help?" It's a little interesting. So that'll come out eventually. And as I keep saying, Nancy Guthrie, tragic, horrible, just words fail me how awful this is. But she is not the only missing person out there. And there are other words fail me kind of missing cases out there, as you guys know. Horrible, horrible things. And the families have no idea. They have no help whatsoever. And they may know, or they may never know, or it may be, 80 years from now. The point is that Nancy Guthrie right now is the face of missing persons, and the lack that there are so many in the world that are not accounted for. This people shouldn't just go missing and they're not found. I mean, and people get away with the abductions or whatever, or sometimes people go missing on their own, or they go missing by accident. They fall off a cliff or whatever. I mean, it isn't like foul play, but Nancy Guthrie right now is just kind of the person that we're coalescing behind because of the prominence of this case. And she isn't absolutely not the only person. I'm not pretending that she is. I'm just using her as a why are the mediums not helping on this at all? If they say they can't, we know they can't. So I'm going to show you some Hee-Haw over here. Los Angeles medium. This is, I think, a minute long. I only watched a few seconds of it to see if there was audio and that kind of thing. But yeah, so check this out. Let me see if I can make this large. It's a TikTok video, so these things are kind of odd. It's got 1,200 likes, 113 comments. Part one, hold here for part two. He's remote viewing. Okay, I don't know. Let me just share it with you and you guys can figure out. Yeah, you can figure out what it is that he's talking about over here. I'm not sure I know, but okay.
Hello, today is Sunday, February 22nd, 2026, and welcome to a remote viewing on the Nancy Guthrie case. So the first thing that I'm seeing here is like I'm looking from the aerial view. It's an aerial view of the house, and it looks like I'm looking at a computer screen. And it's like the roof of the house, the entire ceiling's taken off. So it's somebody that's studying like a diagram. It's a group of people. Three people are studying like a diagram, and they're in a room. They're in a room. It feels like it could be investigations. This could be. It seems like a team. I feel like a team looking at the layout of the house. I don't know why this is the first impression that I'm getting when I'm remote viewing what happened that night. Also, images of a drone, so that does make sense of a drone flying overhead. So it feels like there's a drone, there's something aerial, there's something overhead that's monitoring, that's watching it take place. And as that's happening, I see she's just in bed. She's asleep. Now, when I look at the bed, I see a rustic bed. I see a bed that has very tall like legs. So the post of the bed is like wood. It's kind of uncommon, maybe now at least. It doesn't look modern. So inside of the home or just the bed itself, it looks like the 1970s or 80s when you would look at like Southwest style homes. And I'm seeing like also getting the imagery of like soft pastels like green, purple, like lavender. It's like that type of vibe in the bedroom or in the home, I want to say. So when I bring up the bed, and I believe this might be just coming through for like validation of friends or family or people that knew her, of the type of bed that was involved. It looks like a wooden bed, but every single.
Okay, we've already profiled on this channel a video that Nancy Guthrie did for her daughter Savannah from her bedroom, showing her bed. It was a whole segment on making up her bed. And so we know what the color of the comforters are. We know what the bedstead. We all know this. What is how is this helping? How is this helping with the investigation at all? He's 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 saying that this is validation for the family and friends who knew Nancy, as if this is how he's he's proving he's in contact with Nancy. Yeah, no, I don't think it works like that, especially considering that America, well, anybody who has access to video has seen that bedroom. So even that's bad. I mean, why doesn't he tell us what color her pajamas were? Was she wearing pajamas? Was she wearing a nightgown? What was she wearing? But Savannah has said that she was taken in her pajamas. So that assumes to be pants and top. And that kind of is the culture of that age group, I believe, at least. Savannah, I mean, Nancy would be younger than my mom, but thinking of them, that's what they would have wore, flannel pajamas. So anyway, this guy, I think what he does is he holds these large crystals and then he closes his eyes and he has his microphone, he's holding it. Get a stand, dude, because it is really hard to hear him. I'm glad the words are on the screen. So those microphones you just clip on, so you could clip it on you. I don't know why you're holding it, but whatever. Okay, that's just me. That just annoys me because whatever. I mean, people probably are all over me because I've got a box of Reynolds wrap and I got a chicken and I'm not conventional either. So far he has said nothing, and there's nothing that would help. How there's a drone, there's a diagram of a house. How is that helpful to any kind of investigation? And we got to look at the comments too. So sorry, this is more than a minute. I thought it was going to be a minute, but again, TikTok is a little different. Instagram, same kind of thing. I'm not as familiar with it. Let's see what else he has to say. Let's see if there's anything that we should be what this was the 22nd of February. So I mean, obviously nothing helpful.
Post seems like long, and the end of it seems a bit pointy. Now, as far as like the bedding goes, for some reason I am like, as my energy is there, I'm feeling like rough cotton. It's not soft. It's like the texture of the blanket. It just seems rough. And this has a meaning. I don't know if this is a validation that's coming through. Is the first thing that I get. Then I also see what looks like. I mean, they're very common in the desert in Arizona, in Palm Springs, Joshua Tree, but it looks like a clay pot, but there's like a fire inside. I am seeing that, but it's in another room. So it looks like I wouldn't know how to describe it. Like it looks like a cylinder. I don't think it may be decorative purposes, but it has a chimney. There is a fire in it, and that's right next to what looks like a fireplace. The mantle or like the chimney, the fireplace, it's white, so that stands out. But then next to that, like fireplace or that chimney, I'm looking at what seems like a um, some type of like clay, I guess like a pot, something with a furnace, and in front of that fireplace, I'm seeing shoes laid out or like slippers laid out, or there's some type of footwear that's laid out. So I'm just seeing around, and I guess I am getting a feel for what feels like the environment, the home, and then I'm taking steps forward. And I feel like some of the flooring is like very large, rectangular, like square tiles, um, pink tiles or like a light reddish tiles. They kind of feel ceramic, but I'm feeling like a cold tile. Now, as I'm walking to the door, I am seeing what feels like a wooden door, but then the windows, there's like one, two, three. Um, so I believe that there's glass there. Now, I feel her sleeping. I feel her like just feeling normal, very tired. Um, I feel like being propped up on pillows. I'm getting the feelings of like what feels like it could be um, some type of like acid reflux, right? Or like some type of issue.
God, tiles, cool tiles in a home in Tucson, Arizona. Go figure. And she's very, very tired as she was asleep in her bed. And acid reflux, guys. All right, this is worthless. It really is worthless. Let's there's more, and I'm not going to go to the rest. You guys can check it out if you want to. I'll put the link in the description of this video. Let's look at what some of the comments are. Where in the heck are the comments?
Hello and welcome to. Hello, today is Sunday, February.
Okay, see these videos, they just keep repeating. Why can't I see the comments?
Hello and welcome. Hello today.
Oh,
Hello.
he's remote
Hello,
viewing.
today
No,
is
here's
Sunday,
the thing I
February.
don't understand. I thought remote viewing, well, it isn't really a thing, but if you were to read the Wikipedia page on remote viewing, it is like what is happening now. So why is it that he's describing a scene? He says it's February 22nd. He's describing a scene that happened on February 1st or January 31st. You know, we don't know because it was in the early morning hours. So we think it's the 1st of February. How is he describing a scene? What is he seeing that through? What That's not remote viewing. He's having a psychic vision, apparently. Yeah, I don't know why I can't get to the. Is it because I'm not a friend? I don't follow him. Okay, here, let me hit the follow button. And now let me see if I can get the. No, okay, I don't want to follow him. Oh, I can't follow account, it says. Hey. Couldn't follow account. Couldn't follow account. You can't possibly. Oh, maybe he knows who I am. No, I must have hit a button more than once that I shouldn't have. Yeah, I'm not seeing the comments.
Hello. Hello, today is Sunday, February 22nd, 2026.
Well,
and welcome to a remote viewing on the Nancy Guthrie case?
I don't know. I think this is just sick. That's a word I can say. Right. Okay, the psychic community has grown great interest in Nancy's case, with readings that revealing various dimensions of her life and her family situation post-abduction. These readings not only shed light on the circumstances surrounding the event, but also highlight the emotional journey of the family as they navigate this challenging experience. You don't think that maybe putting out those kinds of videos is kind of, unethical? Anyway, I'll give you a link. You guys tell me if you can figure out how to get to these comments, because I can't see how to get to the comments. It shows there are comments. I know that when I'm on TikTok, I can see comments on videos, but whatever. Okay, it's not that interesting, I guess. The point is that this seems to be common. Are they doing it because they really believe that they are in contact, or they're actually seeing this? Or do they think that maybe if they throw out enough stuff, something will stick and they'll have some sort of fame because somebody will be able to say, yes, there were shoes by a white thing by the fireplace that's a clay pot, and there are square tiles on the ground in this home in Arizona where that is quite common. So maybe that's his fame will be made later. Maybe that's what they're gambling on. Again, I wish I could see how popular this guy was. He's got 1,200 views. Let's try YouTube. Maybe he's on YouTube. Okay, let's see. Los Angeles Medium. Oh my gosh. Okay, so
Can you tell us about?
All right, Charlie Kirk. Who is this guy? His name is Gilbert Salas, Salas. Los Angeles Medium. He has 1,000 subscribers, so half of what I have. He's put out 22 videos. He's joined YouTube in 2013. His videos get about 1,000 views or more. Okay, let's see. The last video he put out was in 6 months ago. So it looks like he switched from YouTube, putting out videos on YouTube, to putting out videos on TikTok. He probably feels like he gets more engagement. So let me let you see this YouTube channel. Let me put it over here on this screen. So here he is, Gilbert Salas, Los Angeles Medium. More about the channel. Doesn't have a lot of views. And there he is. He tends to hold his microphone right up there by his face. Psychic medium reading on Charlie Kirk. Here's some people, I don't know who they are, that he's supposed to be remote viewing. Shorts. Psychic medium fulfilled prediction. Has 423 views.
Welcome to Psychic Receipts, baby, deluxe edition, where predictions age like wine. That's right, another one came true. I didn't guess, I channeled. I called it, I clocked it. Spirit said it, I said it, now the world's just catching up.
Holy shit, Jamie, pull that video up.
December 3rd to December 16th, we're going to have a major event. All eyes are going to be on it. It's going to shock the world, but it's going to have to do with conflict between one of these UAPs, alien aircrafts, UFOs, and someone in the U.S. military, whether it's an aircraft, a fighter jet. There's going to be an actual altercation that's going to happen between the two. I want to direct you all.
Elizondo, Lou, it's nice to have you with us. First of all, the UFO that crashed into the fighter plane, what do we know about that?
Well, the problem is that we really don't know much, and therein lies the challenge, right? When you have an incident involving a $40 million combat aircraft, and only the details now are starting to be released through Freedom of Information Act and FAA, there's a problem. Now, we've been...
Yeah, don't act like I'm not surgical with it. Welcome to...
God, my worlds collide. So, okay, so if you follow me on Twitter, Susan Gerbic on Twitter, S. Gerbic on Twitter. I think I'm Susan Gerbic on Twitter. For about 2-3 years now, the UFO community has been just furious at me because I run a Wikipedia organization. I'm sorry, I don't have my microphone over here. I run a Wikipedia organization that corrects misinformation on Wikipedia. I train people how to be Wikipedia editors. And they think that I have, and my team has, gotten involved in correcting information on Wikipedia concerning UFOs. Now, I tend to be the one who's got more interest in UFOs than anybody else. And so I have done some work. But, I've also written, I think, 7 Wikipedia articles on Bigfoot. So, it's not exclusively UFO related. I think I've written, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 Wikipedia articles so far. And one of them is the Lou Elizondo Wikipedia article, which is a guy who was there. So he's a huge joke, and he's grifting, and he's doing whatever he can to stay relevant. So anything he says, just like throw it out with the bathwater. So I'm sure you guys have all heard about this UFO flying into a fighter jet, right? I mean, that really didn't happen. So, wow. Anyway, fascinating. This world is just fascinating. What people will believe. I don't know. I just don't get it. And it really isn't important if this guy, what's his name? Salas, what's his name? What is his name now? I can't remember now. I got to share that on UFO Twitter. Gilbert Salas. It's really not important if to decide, is he grifting? Does he know he's doing this? Or is he a true believer, or somewhere in the middle? It's really not an important topic. I mean, it's interesting philosophically, but it really isn't that important of a topic. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. Rob gave me this video, and I was kind of intrigued to see what it is that was going on in there. And he doesn't sound or look like Thomas John at all. Sorry, Rob. Anyway, okay, comments below, you guys. I'm curious what you guys are going to come up with. Thanks for everything. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye now.